The goddess of wisdom is coming through today with a message to you about where you have been playing small. Is there a place in your life where you have been shrinking yourself for love or choosing not to show up fully as yourself out of a fear of not being accepted? This is a really important thing to think about because when we play small, we are not being fully who we are. We are not being true to ourselves. And it causes us to make decisions and take actions that we wouldn't normally take and it pulls us out of our power, right? So we're not as potent in our power when we aren't acting in alignment with who we really are. But Spirit has an encouraging message on how we can step out of this for you today. So, hello, my beautiful solopreneurs. I am so excited to see you today. Thank you for being here. Welcome. By watching this reading, you are showing up for yourself today and you're strengthening your connection to your own inner wisdom. And that has the power to transform every area of your life. This isn't about predicting your future. It's about helping you lead yourself with more confidence, clarity, and trust. I'm Kristin Nicole Lobdell, and I believe that self-leadership is the foundation of a meaningful life and a sustainable business. Today, we're going to move through my K&L Co. signature self-leadership spread, which is a 5-card framework designed to help you regulate, validate, witness the deeper message unfolding, and integrate the guidance into your next steps. As always, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. These readings are intended to support your self-reflection and your intuition. If you'd like personalized guidance, there's a link in the description to set up an intuitive guidance session with me. I would be more than honored to share that space with you. And don't forget to sign up for my powerful questions guide to help you get even more out of your tarot and oracle card readings. All right. So yeah, I'm getting that your energy today is I'm getting that you're feeling a little bit low today. And so I just want to offer you some extra love and support as you're going through a bit of a challenging time. Spirit is showing me through the cards and through the channeling here that um, things aren't easy lately. You're going through a bit of a rough patch. And when I pulled this card is from the Colette Baron Reed Goddess Power Oracle cards, and I'll link that in the description as well. Metis, the Greek goddess of wisdom, came through in the reverse position. And so what that is telling me is that there is room for improvement in following your wisdom today. When I read reversed cards, I read them as the medicine. And so there is an opportunity for you to apply some medicine in your life so that we can turn this hardship around, okay? So let me just read to you what Colette wanted us to hear from, from Metis in the guidebook that she provided for us. The goddess Metis learned a painful lesson long ago and does not want you to go through the same experience. She chose to make herself small, dim her life force and inner light, and reduce her power to keep love. Who or what in your life is causing you to do the same? Do you dim yourself out of fear of reprisal or because you have a sense that you are unworthy and unlovable, or perhaps too much and too smart? The goddess Metis offers an important alignment task. You must face this fear, this anxiety, and say a resounding no. Even in the face of the greater story of cultural conditioning, be brave and courageous and ask how you can be a part of the solution. Playing small is an excuse not to be accountable for your personal power and to not be effective in the world. You have an abundance of life force energy in you. So come out of the shadows and let yourself shine. Take the risk and bring your wisdom to the world. We need you. There's a couple of points that I really wanted to go back to in this. Number one being, what in your life is causing you to do the same? Are there people in your life that make you afraid that they're going to react or like snap at you if you show up fully in your power? Or are there people in your life where you feel like you're maybe disappointing them, or maybe just by showing up fully as yourself, you might feel as if you're hurting their feelings, right? Like maybe you're a really confident and um, like courageous kind of energy. And when you show up fully in your power, you can sense that other people feel smaller around you, because you maybe remind them that they could even step more fully into their light, right? Well, this message is coming through to tell you that your responsibility in this matter is to actually deny the power that has over you, right? Because it doesn't need to have that power over you unless you let it, right? Nothing has power over us unless we agree to that, right? The number one law in the universe that even God does not break is free will. And so we always have the power to choose how to continue to show up in this situation. And so when you're not showing up fully in your power and in your light, you're not only, as I mentioned earlier, you're dimming your own power, your potency goes down, you become less magnetic, and you're not being true to yourself. Um, your life force kind of diminishes a little bit too. So you might feel tired and um, not inspired, right? And low energy, if you will. And the other point I wanted to bring up about this is playing small is an excuse not to be accountable for your own personal power and not to be effective in the world. And deep down, you know that that's not what you really want. You want to show up fully and make a difference. That's what everyone I know wants truly down deep, right? And so, how can we move forward without allowing that to suppress our energy, if we will? And, Spirit is showing us that we are supported in this right now, but because this is coming up in the cards, this is an opportunity for us to be a part of the solution. So let's get into the tarot to explore this even further. So in the regulate position, this is what is grounding you right now. I have the Five of Pentacles here. And the Five of Pentacles represents this challenge. And so I'm not surprised that this is in the regulate position because this is your current situation. So maybe you've experienced some financial loss. Maybe you've experienced some loss of some clients. Maybe you've lost your job. Or maybe you're just in a place of isolation or just feeling kind of lonely in life, right? Like maybe your friendships haven't been flourishing the way that you wished they would or hoped they would. Maybe you're feeling stuck in a lack mindset of some sorts. Well, because it's in the regulate position, we just want to acknowledge that this is what's happening, give ourselves compassion, and allow ourselves to slow down and breathe and return to ourselves because the lack mindset is what's going to keep us in this position. But we're not going to have that lack mindset. We're going to put ourselves in a place of peace so that we can open our minds to the solution. In the validate position, this is what you are feeling that deserves to be honored. And so this, if you're going through this hard time, you're probably pretty aware of it, but because it's in the regulate position, you may not be, right? Like maybe you don't really know why you're in like this low energy, challenging, kind of lack mindset as well. But in the validate position, this is what you're feeling that deserves to be honored. And so this situation is causing you anxiety and worry, right? All you know is that you are feeling some anxiety and some worry. And even if you don't know why, if it's not like if it's not 100% obvious right away, for example, like losing a job, that's going to be obvious, right? You're going to be well aware of that, and you're going to be well aware that that's why you're having anxiety. But if you don't understand maybe why some of your friendships may have diminished in your life, that is an example of a time when maybe you wouldn't be aware that maybe your lack mindset or your belief that you can't fully show up in your power, maybe that has been pushing some relationships away for you, right? But so this isn't this card, the Nine of Swords in the validate position. Again, it just further affirms like, let's give ourselves some compassion. Maybe you've been having some sleepless nights about it. This is real and this is valid. Your feelings are valid. Of course, if you're going through this hard time, you're going to have some sort of anxiety. Let's just recognize that without trying to fix it and just accept that sometimes, some parts of our lives, life isn't meant to always be sunshine and rainbows. If we didn't have challenges, then we wouldn't receive the strength to make it through the rest of our life. And I believe it's Abraham Hicks that said, if we have no challenges, we would even cease to exist, right? So challenges actually are a meaningful part of life. And I always believe that they are preparing us for something greater in the future. So let's just sit with it and accept that maybe this challenge is part of the solution, right? Maybe the way that we've been operating needs to change. And that's what this challenge is here to show us, right? It's here to bring it up so that we can apply the medicine to it. And so what is actually happening beneath the surface in the witness position, we have the Page of Wands. Now, the Page of Wands is a very promising card. This is new inspiration coming in. And so that could very well be what some of these challenges, what's happening with some of these challenges. One of the ways that the universe has to push us into change is to show us where things are not working, right? When things fall apart, then we try new things. And so this challenge is actually based on this reading, leading you to new inspiration. It's going to give you the information, the feedback, the data that you need to create more enthusiasm in your life. To discover the new solution, to show up as that student of life in the area of your passions, in the area of your energy, your motivation, and your purpose, right? If we bring it back to the overall energy card, if you have been shrinking or dimming your light, of course, your energy is going to feel suppressed. It makes sense. And in that sense, we can take this as incredible guidance, right? Because our emotions are telling us that something's off and that we need to return to alignment. So I would say actually this is a reason to get excited about what's actually happening. How can we flip the script on this anxiety? Because it's showing us maybe where there's some relationships that aren't in alignment with us. Maybe we need friends who aren't intimidated by us showing up fully in our power, right? Maybe we need to make some new choices about our friendships. And so that leads me to the guidance position. What is the most aligned next step for you? This is about what action, boundary, or shift is being called forward. Well, this is the King of Cups. And so the King of Cups represents the epitome of emotional mastery. He knows, what he needs to keep himself filled up inside. But even on an external, so queens represent inner mastery, kings represent external mastery. So not only has he mastered his emotions from within, he also knows how to hold boundaries and how to choose relationships and how to get himself involved with different things that keep his cup overflowing, that keep his emotions in check, that keep him acting as this balanced, compassionate leader that he is. And so this is where your power lies in the situation, is by showing up as that King of Cups. And as the Metis card was sharing with us, this is how we show up and we say, no, I am not going to submit to this temptation to play it small. I am going to step fully into my King of Cups energy and I am going to do what I know makes my cup runneth over. And then what shifts when we embody this? This is what becomes available when you follow this guidance is that you're able to make better decisions. You're able to bring balance. Balance is restored. This is um, the card of balance and managing multiple priorities, the two of coins. And so, coins represent money, work, home, and your physical reality. So you are able to balance those manifestations, right? So maybe you bring balance to your finances because maybe you're overcompensating for some people who might react to you being too much, right? Um, Maybe somehow this brings balance to your finances, or maybe it brings balance to your home life because the dynamic improves when you show people that you are going to be fully who you are. Maybe you do get new relationships because you make better choices about who you're spending time with. So, yeah, this is really leading to a good place. So trust that this challenge is bringing you into a break. It's a breakdown leading to a breakthrough. All right, that's what I have for you today. I am sending you so much love. Have compassion on yourself. Fill that cup up. Show up in your King of Cups energy, and your inspiration will be restored. Until next time.